On episode 15, we've got a consumable quick list. We talk about our favorite childhood multiplayer memories. We start part 1 of our 5-part top 10 series, and Connor has some trivia. Sit back and relax, cause here comes episode 15.
Activating Dragon Power Protocol in 3, 2, 1. Initializing host sequence. Player 1. Select your host. Brian.
Solid choice. Let's fire it up.
Player 2. Select your host. Connor.
Oh, yeah!
Host sequence complete. Stand by for podcast.
Dragon Power!
Hello, everybody.
Hey-o.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Dragon Power
Dragow.
podcast.
Dragow.
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 Yay.
Have you
15. We're halfway to 30, dude.
ever seen there's a never mind, you haven't seen Jodo. Anyway, hey, we're halfway to 30. I was gonna make a joke.
I'm
but
doing more math.
I'm
so.
slightly tired, so excuse me for being less coherent than normal.
Yeah,
And
dude, one of your eyes is completely shut. So
It's have you ever seen at the end of Berserk?
Yeah.
I just look like guts right now.
Oh, snap, dude.
Oh, hey,
That's hardcore.
Berserk is coming out soon this year.
Oh, I can't wait for that,
It's gonna
man.
be so good.
I really want to go back through the, what is it, Golden Age?
Golden Age.
Yeah. Want to go back through it. One of my favorite animes of all time.
I've never seen the movies. Have you seen them?
I have not. Are they different from the Golden Age stuff?
No, they're just like retellings of the Golden Age. They're all in CG.
Oh,
You might want to watch those.
yeah, why
It's
not?
really cool.
I mean, hey.
Alright.
Anyway, so, and that brings us to the end of episode wait.
So we got some plug.
Oh, yeah, I'll do my plugs really quick. No, we're going to go straight into what we always go into, politics,
Wiggity. Oh.
right? Is that what we do?
Wiggity politics?
Wiggity politics? I
Sure.
like politics. No, we'll go into what we did this week.
Yeah.
Connor, what did you do this week?
I didn't do very much. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't do very much. I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5.
That's
actually.
right.
I picked up Ground Zeroes because I never played it.
Oh,
Um,
oh, really? I figured you would have
No.
exhausted every possible thing to do in that game.
That's why I picked it up
Gotcha.
because I hadn't played it, and
Oh,
because
well,
I watched someone play it because someone told me it wasn't a good buy, and I was like, and I watched someone play it, and I was like, oh, okay, I still want to play it now.
no, it's not bad. It's just I think there's tons of stuff to do in it, but I think the majority of the people were just like, you can beat it in 10 minutes, therefore it sucks.
You can if you just sprint the whole way.
Yeah.
If you're just like,
I mean, you can speed run a ton of games, but that's
It's
not
like-
the point.
I don't get it.
People are stupid. Just want to complain.
I got it for $13 at GameStop for the PS4 version too. So
yeah,
I was like
that's
sick.
that is worth it. I actually paid the $30 when it was brand new.
Yeah.
which-
Oh, so you picked it up?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've had it for forever.
Cool.
I beat it once, and then I didn't play it ever again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just wait for 5.
There's a secret mission called Deja Vu
Mhm.
where you recreate scenes from the first Metal Gear.
Oh,
And That's
wow.
probably the best mission in the game. And doing that unlocks the Solid Snake outfit, like the PS1 blocky one
Weird.
for Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes.
That sounds amazing.
And that's when you run around with
so he doesn't even have
blocky
a
snake.
distinguishable face and stuff.
It zooms on his ears and it's 3 polygons. It looks like half an octagon. It's the best.
That sounds amazing.
On that, I played some Smash. I actually went to a tournament today.
Yeah.
That's
How'd that go?
half the reason I busted out super hard.
Oh,
but
whatever.
It's whatever. I don't play the game much anymore.
Yeah.
But I got to commentate a whole bunch. I shouted out Dragon Power.
That's
So
awesome.
If you guys are here because of that, that's awesome. But
Hooray.
I'm Senpai, or Connor.
Yes.
But yeah, on that, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 4 came out.
You start watching it?
Yes, I think episode 4 just came out. I haven't seen the new one, but
Okay.
I added that to my thing last week because I forgot to talk about it. But it's really good. I love it. I love JoJo. The new setting. It's all good.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
gonna get into it too much because there's not much to get into.
Sure.
But if you like JoJo, that's out. I know a lot of people didn't actually know that. I thought it was coming out in April.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's about all I did. I didn't
wow.
do very much.
Quick note on that. Connor and I have finally come to an agreement.
Oh yeah.
Connor has been wanting me to see JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for forever and ever. Amen.
Oh, he would love
It's
it.
really hard for me to just sit down and watch new anime because I'm not even a huge anime fan. I like some anime, but it's not a huge deal for me. But so I've been putting it off like a bum. But Connor has been putting off playing Dark Souls for the first time like a bum. So we came to a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
He is going to play a bunch of the first Dark Souls with me there to help him through it, and I have to watch at least 6 episodes of the first season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. However, we watched the first episode, and I really liked it. I've just been putting it off.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of me not wanting to do it. It's just I haven't really just taken the time to do it. So
Yeah, the first episode's not a very good tell of the series anyway.
Sure.
It's like most shows. It's all like story building and whatnot.
yeah.
Second episode actually is a time skip where the kid just gets right into it, and then by the 6th episode, you're in the thick of it.
In all honesty, though, it's been, like 2 months, so I might go back and watch the first episode again, just to kind of get a refresher.
We could watch it tonight.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, we can do whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of Dragon Power plans their weekend.
But no, I mean, that's anyone who listens to this might find this interesting.
Yeah.
So Connor's never played any of the Souls games, and I'm really excited for him to experience it for the first time, because I really think you'll like it, man, if you get into the thick of it and you have somebody there to help you.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be fun.
I know there's a whole lot of depth to it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those people who, when Pokemon, I got really into training Pokemon, to where you can min-max all the stats up to like level 100, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to doing that with Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And like building like a sick class.
Yeah, man.
Plus, sorry.
No, it's okay. Every time I fire up Dark Souls, he's like, "Can I just be Guts?"
Yeah,
I just be Guts?
I just want to play as Guts or Katana Man. Like,
Which is either you can do, and it works out really well for both. So
yeah, can you dual wield the katana Can you like hold?
I mean,
like, two-handed?
you can kind of. Oh, well, you mean two-handed?
Yeah, like
of
two-handed.
course.
Not like dual wield katanas, but like.
Oh
two-handed.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, you can.
I'll just be like, I'm gonna be Rory Kenshin or whatever.
You can definitely do that. I actually have a buddy back home who.
I can't believe I didn't say Mitsurugi. I can't believe
I know,
oh,
it's
man.
weird.
Wow. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a buddy back home who went through an entire playthrough of Dark Souls as just like a ninja, or not necessarily a ninja, but like a samurai.
Oh.
And he only used two-hand katana and nothing else.
Yeah.
So he didn't use shields. He didn't put on like any crazy armor. He made himself look like a straight samurai and just went through the game that way, regardless of how good or bad it was.
That's amazing.
He has way more discipline than I do. I'd be like, I want a smashy. So I just worked a bunch this week, hung out with my lovely lady, Tabby, and let's see, what else did I do? Picked up Dark Souls 3 on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Huge deal for me.
You like Dark Souls?
I love it.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So I won't get too deep into it because we've already talked a bunch about Dark Souls already, but I'm such a psychopath when it comes to those games. I'm so crazy. I started a new character, got a little bit of the ways through, like maybe 3 or 4 hours in, and then somebody was like, hey, did you know that you can do this, this, and this early on in the game? So I was like, delete my character and start it over.
Gotcha.
I did that like 5 times.
Oh, wow. 5?
I made it about 4 or 5 hours into the game and then deleted it because I would find out new stuff that you can do that can only happen in the beginning of the game.
Gotcha.
I finally got a character that I'm happy with, and I've done all the stuff that I need to do, and I'm just going to continue through the game. But
All right.
it's awesome. So far, it is definitely the hardest one that I've played. Some of the bosses are just poo ludicrous. That's a new
as
term.
They should be.
Yes.
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous. I love
right.
it. And but anyway, yeah, it's awesome.
Gross.
Played music with my band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I did this week. Nothing too extravagant or crazy.
It's very uneventful weeks.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Work.
Whatever, who cares?
So
on to the rest of the awesome podcast.
Yes, if you weren't just captivated by our whirling dervish
We'll actually
mouths.
We'll actually talk. Whoa!
Spewing the glorious wonder that is dragon power.
Spewing dervishes everywhere. All right.
So we are going to go into Dragon Power's ultimate.
Quick!
Oh gosh! Oh man!
It's getting so quick.
Oh dude, it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like activating Dragon Power Protocol.
and then I'll record that all the way till we get to quick list. Just one note in the background, and then like it'll like ramp up in volume.
Or you're gonna say quick during the plugs of this episode for episode 16.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna just start getting all crazy Inception.
I do. Oh man.
Anyway, we're ready for the quick list.
All right, I already said it, so I don't.
No worries. So the quick list this week, we talked about something fun. We're going to do the top 5 consumable items / power-ups
Yeah.
in video games.
As some guidelines, is anything you use, like for example, a potion or like a power you can lose, like a fire flower in Mario.
Correct. So it powers you up, but you can lose it.
Yeah.
Consumable, meaning you use it and it's gone.
So not weapons.
Yes, exactly. So let's see. Who do you want to start?
You got to start, man.
Okay. So number 5, I put Humanity/Embers from the Dark Souls series.
Okay.
Basically, what that does is it turns you from a hollow, aka zombie, to human or alive. And the reason why I picked this is because not only does it just change your aesthetic, but it actually affects the game quite a bit. Like in the first Dark Souls, when you're dead, you can't be invaded. But you get less souls, and certain things won't trigger for you, and you can't summon people.
Interesting.
So you use a humanity, you become a human again, you can be invaded, but you can summon people, and you get more souls. And there are certain things that are available to you that weren't before. So
interesting.
They have a huge impact on the game. So I thought those were really cool. Number 4, I put the feather from Super Mario World. Now, the leaf from like Super Mario 3 is awesome. The Tanuki suit is really cool. But that feather, just Mario with a yellow cape. He's just like, I'm literally now just Super Mario.
Oh, yeah, Super Mario.
Exactly. And he just flies, and if you can get the tilt down correctly, you can fly forever.
That took me so long to figure out as a kid.
Yeah?
Like how to do that.
But once you figure it out, you're like, I'm the champion of this game.
Because it's always like your cousin or your brother showed it to you.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, you can
do
keep
that?
going? That's amazing. Number 3, I put pretty much any and all invincibility items because they're always temporary, like things that make you invincible for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And bonus points to those that give you a whole brand new song.
Absolutely.
like
Sonic and Mario.
Like the star from Mario, the power from Sonic. The one that comes to mind immediately is the DuckTales one. It's just like abrasive and high-pitched. But yeah, those are cool. Let's see. Number 2, I put. Now this is. It could constitute as a weapon, but I put the spread shot from Contra.
Oh, that's fine. You can lose it.
Because you can lose it,
yeah.
Correct. And it is a power-up. So it's not something you gain and then you have it for the rest of the game. You can get hit and then it's over. But the spread shot is amazing because, according to Brental Floss, you're just shooting tomatoes.
Oh, dude.
Just 5 tomatoes in every direction. I didn't have any honorable mentions today. So my number 1, I just put any and all meat that you find in walls and barrels.
Yeah!
There's nothing greater than walking around in a side-scroller beat-em-up from the 90s and punching like a oil drum and there being this freshly cooked turkey just waiting for you.
Comically sized, just meat.
Yeah. Like, why would you
thanks.
eat that? You're just like, I'm in the middle of the street. I should probably eat this turkey I found in this barrel I punched.
Man, these gunshot wounds hurt. Maybe I should eat this turkey. Like, oh, I feel better now.
They immediately heal gunshot wounds.
It's crazy.
It's fantastic. So that was my quick list. Connor, hit us with it.
So I had 3 of yours.
Oh, good.
So we shared 3 of them.
I'm ready.
So number 5, spread gun.
Okay.
Because you can lose it. And someone told me recently that it's supposed to be shotgun. It's what the S stands for.
Really?
Because it's a spread shot and like a shotgun.
That's weird. I think it might have originally been intended as shotgun, but then everyone called it spread gun, so in later installments, they just started calling it the spread gun.
I wonder who coined that term.
Don't know.
It's probably Nintendo Power, in all honesty.
Probably.
Number 4, Cape, Mario World.
Yep.
It's such a good item. Like, like Firefly was good, but Cape is an entirely different kind of good.
Absolutely.
Like, it allows you to mess up jumps and still have, like, a little bit of recovery time.
Absolutely.
It gives you, like, a melee attack. Like,
that's freaking invaluable in a Mario game. It's just like a straight-up basic punch. You're just like, smack.
And you can just skip entire levels if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, and you get secret worlds and whatnot. And then number 3, I put the twin plasma lasers and Star Fox.
Yeah.
Because it makes the game a whole lot easier.
Yeah, dude.
And it also repairs your wings for some reason.
Sure. In the original Star Fox, it was like a huge deal to get the fully upgraded lasers because it was like these plasma orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, those so good. But yeah.
They brought those orbs back in Star Fox Command, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like, they're not the blue lasers, but yeah, it's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, it just makes the game easier and makes you not actually want to die. Not that you want to die to begin with.
Exactly.
Number 2, I you can lose this, and it takes a while to get. I put Supersonic.
Oh yeah.
I figured that'd be power up because you actually you have to get 50 rings if you run out.
You don't become permasonic.
Yeah.
You don't.
And this kind of bleeds over into my number 1 for a little bit, but Supersonic's is awesome. Like you're just Super Saiyan Sonic. And it's,
Absolutely.
It's like you're just flying through levels you've already beaten. And
plus the music
changes,
changes, which is amazing.
Oh, it's so good. And then number 1, I put any invincibility items.
Cool.
We already went over that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Great minds think alike, man.
Yeah. Thanks for calling me smart/dumb, depending on your point of view. But anyway.
Perfect. So that was the quick list for this week. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really quick, actually.
Yeah, that was way quicker than last week. I mean, with the 3 of us, we could have just quick listed for the entire podcast.
Absolutely. We could have, yeah.
But cool. So we're going to move on to our mini boss segment. Mini boss. It's a segment. So the mini boss segment for this week, we decided to talk about our favorite or most memorable or craziest multiplayer childhood memories.
Yeah. Stuff we remember as kids, stuff that stands out in your mind.
Sleepovers, friends coming over after school, just basically any and all interactions you had as a kid playing with friends on pretty much local co-op.
Yeah, local, pretty much. I mean,
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you're younger, so, I mean, you were...
Well, even then, it's like, online didn't really start till Xbox and PS3 came out.
It's
and
true.
by that time, I was like 12.
Yeah.
So, like, I already had, like, kids to
So
play
you
with.
still had a bunch of childhood memories, yeah. So,
like,
cool,
at
man.
the earliest, like, 12. I think Halo 3 is the first thing I really played online.
Oh, all right. You know what the first game I ever played online was?
What?
Like, console-wise, was Gears of War.
Interesting.
Yeah. I used my Xbox Live Gold free trial.
Wow.
And I was like, I've never done this before, and I hooked it up to my internet, and I had no idea what I was doing. And I played a team deathmatch, and I was like, oh, that was crazy. I don't like it.
Yeah. This, I guess this is a good intro. I used to, what I used to do is I wasn't allowed to play M-rated games as a kid. And of course, as any rebellious 11, 12-year-old, I would go over to my friend's house who had an older brother who had Halo 3.
Yes.
I would play so much Halo 3. That's like, and that's I hadn't owned a Halo. I get good at it.
Yeah.
Like I'd go over and I'd play Smash Bros with my actual friend for a little bit, and then Smash Bros with Brawl, and then I'd go and play Halo 3 in his big brother's bedroom.
That's amazing.
And while he was off at like work or something, I was like, yeah. So sorry, Mom. I used to do that a lot.
You're like, hey, nobody's using this right now. I might as well use it.
Hey, yeah. So that was really fun.
So I'll dive straight into one of my absolute like biggest ones.
Okay.
Basically, any and all times I've played Turtles in Time with anyone on the Super Nintendo. I've had amazing Turtles in Time experiences with multiple people. My brother is probably the person I beat the game with the most. Him and I used to play that together all the time. Super Nintendo version is absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've played it with several other people. I played it with my buddy Mike. I played it with my buddy Justin, who is on the MultiTap Podcast.
Oh, hey.
Just beating that game from start to finish in one sitting with a good buddy will never get old.
Yeah.
I'll do that at like 50. I'll be like, hey, man, you want to beat Turtles in Time?
Well, we played Turtles in Time at Game Galaxy. We played the arcade version.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You, me, and Tabby.
Yeah.
We tore it up on there. That was
boy.
fun. It was awkward, though, because the cabinet was like one of the smaller ones.
Right.
So the sticks were super close to each other. We had to get all sandwichy.
Yeah, whatever.
But still fun. But yeah, man, basically any Turtles 2D side-scroller beat 'em up is fantastic with people. So,
for me, the equivalent of people I've probably played the most games with is Smash Brothers. And between Melee and Brawl, I remember one time, I think I've talked about this before, but me and my buddy got, you know how you get those little like medals at the bottom of the screen in Melee?
Yeah.
Well, depending on how many kills, we're like, let's see who can do 100 first. So like we didn't smartly, for some reason we didn't set it to 99 and play that way. We just did individual matches. So like we both get really good at Melee, just playing individual matches for like 3 hours straight, just playing matches over and over. And that was super fun. And just any time, like I used to go to my friend's house. This is high school, but like it's technically Brawl was around for quite a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was 13 when that game came out, and I played that until my Wii broke, and then I'd go to my friend's house and play Brawl.
I was getting ready to join the army when Brawl came out.
Oh, okay. I was 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that.
Perfect.
All right. But I just all the thousands of games, probably tens of thousands of games at this point. I've played a lot of Smash.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably about 10,000 games in Brawl and Melee.
That's a lot, man.
Played a lot. I can't really think of a couple. Actually, probably my biggest achievement as a kid, I was like, I want to beat 3 level 9s on a team, and I did it. I did it once, and I was like, that's it. I've peaked. It's all down here.
I can die.
I can't. I mean, it's all down here from here.
So I'll throw one out here that's it's a mature rated title. So I'll try to keep it G rated here. But there was a game that was supposed to come out back in the day, the old PlayStation 1 era. I've told you about it before. We've talked about it before. I actually think I even showed it to you. But it was called Thrill Kill. And it was a 4-player fighting game. And it was supposed to be this, like, quote-unquote Mortal Kombat killer in terms of just, like, shock factor and violence. And I was really looking forward to it as a kid, which I shouldn't have. Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Don't. Stay your drugs. Don't do school.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that mixed up.
Dragon Power is canceled. So the thing is it got canceled, and nobody could play it, and there was no way to ever see anything about Thrill Kill. And I was very sad about that because I really wanted to try it out. And then the developers got all uppity because Virgin Interactive bought the rights to publish the game, and they were like, yeah, dude, we'll totally publish your game. And then they were like, sweet. And then they bought it, and then they were like, this game's an abomination. We can't let this go out and see the light of day. And they canceled it.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was like, what the frick, man? So the developers released a near full build on the internet. It was like, here you go, everybody. Like, here's the fruit of our labor. We hope you can enjoy it on some emulators. I had a modded PlayStation 1, and I bought a MultiTap, one of the 4-player MultiTaps.
Oh, hey.
And I would take it over to my buddy's house for like birthday parties, and we would rock some Thrill Kill.
Oh man!
And it was amazing. It was way fun playing with 4 people. That game is terrifying because it's a fighting game, but the premise is, if I remember correctly, basically there's like this demon who gets bored, and it holds a fighting tournament in hell, and whoever wins gets to go back to Earth.
It's so ridiculous.
Nobody that you play is a good guy. Not a single person in the game is a good person.
Yeah.
So it was hard to relate to anybody. But then I forget who it was. I think it was Paradox. They bought the engine, the fighting engine, and created Wu-Tang Shaolin style.
Oh yeah.
And that game is awesome.
If you can
it's basically just Thrill Kill with Wu-Tang Clan characters and then a bunch of made-up characters. And it's so much fun. It's still 4-player. It's still super violent, still over the top. In fact, I would say that Wu-Tang Shaolin style is way more violent than Thrill Kill was.
Huh.
I think just Thrill Kill was more dark and disturbing because of the whole, hey, we're all in hell.
Woo!
Woohoo! But that was a lot of fun for me as a kid.
Yeah. I guess it's off to me. There's a James Bond game called Agent Under Fire that is one of I think the 3rd game I ever owned for GameCube or ever. And it was the only multiplayer game. That and Jedi Outcast were the only 2 multiplayer games I had for a while. Some of my friends would come over, we'd play that. And so we played that normally for a while, and then we started going to the options screens and trying to figure out like, oh, let's see what we can do. And we found an option for you can triple your speed, like walk speed.
Yeah.
You can turn off gravity.
Whoa.
And put on jetpacks.
I love cheats.
And just put on like one-shot kills and turn off auto aim. So it was all just us flying around with grappling hooks and jetpacks and stuff, trying to like, pew, pew.
That's amazing.
Like trying to like hit each other with no auto aim like for hours.
That's
and
hilarious.
Just, on a manor and a town are the 2. That game's not good, and it's just like. Oh, dude!
I think a lot of us played games that were not very good.
Absolutely, like that game. It's early first-person shooter. Even like GoldenEye is better.
Absolutely.
Because like you shoot something and then like bullets will just go on like a shotgun spread like that. I'm not even aiming there. It's like, and then the most like powerful upgrade is you can get like single-player upgrades. Like you can get like a golden gun. Like your starting pistol is better. And there's one called Golden Accuracy, and the only thing it does is it makes you actually shoot where your crosshair is, and it's so like
that's
come
amazing.
On. But like shout-outs to that and Nightfire, because I played before Call of Duty and Halo. I guess Halo was out then, but I was a Nintendo kid, so those are the only two things I had. But I've played so many games of Nightfire and Age of Fire. Like, oh, dude.
That's awesome.
And there's a mode in Nightfire. It's just random weapons. But every once in a while, I mean, most of the time you start off with like normal like pistols. But every once in a while, you start off with stun grenades.
Nice.
And no one can see anything, and everyone's just punching each other. And it's the best. It's the best. But you there's no custom loadout, so you just have to keep trying until you get like either something like just stun grenades. And it's so good.
That's hilarious.
I've played so many games of those.
That's amazing. Speaking of James Bond games, did you ever? This was a lot of fun that I used to do as a kid too. Did you ever play GoldenEye and turn on License to Kill and do slappers only?
Absolutely. Or throwing knives.
Yeah, but dude, like friendships were tested with slappers only License to Kill because you'd both slap at the exact same time, but one person would take priority over the other. Like, what the heck? I hit the button first. This is stupid.
Man. Who's your go-to character in GoldenEye?
In GoldenEye, I used to pick Baron Samedi or whatever. Samedi,
right.
However you pronounce it. I just loved his hat. I thought
And his
it was
laugh.
awesome.
Oh, he doesn't laugh in that. It's
He doesn't laugh in the multiplayer mode, but he does in single player.
It's scary.
But anyone who picked Odd Job is a tool, and I hate you.
Stop.
Yeah.
I used to pick.
Anyone who picked Jaws, what are you doing, man?
I mean, hey, all right, stop. I used to pick Civilian 4.
Yes.
Because he has a dumb bowl cut, looks really stupid. And I was like, that's my character. Like,
That's amazing.
like his face is all scrunched up. Looks like he's wearing like it looks like a raccoon. Like if you just took like a raccoon's face and no fur and put it on a human and gave it a bowl cut, that's Civ 4.
Sounds horrifying.
It's the best character in the game.
Sounds brilliant. Yeah, you know what else I used to do with a good buddy of mine named Aaron?
No, tell me.
We would play Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles on the Dreamcast and listen to really inappropriate hip-hop music at the same time. And it was amazingly fun.
That sounds awesome.
It was really funny. We would either listen to that or like just like 90s music. It was hilarious.
Oh, I love it.
I would always play as Shaft Windu. And
yeah.
I forget who he played.
Because I know there's a whole bunch of like loosely canon-based
He might have played as like Plo Koon.
That's a character. I think that's a character.
Yeah, he's like this weird. My buddy Jesse. Oh, Jesse, the guy who did the logo for our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Jesse, the amazing artist,
Ventura?
brilliant dude. He just this last Halloween did an unbelievable Plo Koon cosplay or costume for Halloween. It was super dope. He posted a picture on Facebook, and I was like, that is freaking sweet. Like, how did he do that?
If I grew like a beard out, I could totally go as Qui-Gon.
You could.
Yeah.
You totally could.
Or like.
And then I could go as like fat, old, middle-aged like Anakin, if he had never been trained in the ways of the Jedi.
Just be like,
I'm still just making robots.
I used to be a pod racer, you know.
I won pod racing back in the day, you know.
Did your brother or anyone else ever like you know put the plug behind the console and so you're plugged in?
No.
My cousins did that to
my
me.
brother, I was pretty smart for a kid. Like, so my brother knew he couldn't use like conventional ways of trying to mess with me. So he would do stuff like steal the characters I wanted, stuff that was just blatant and brutal. And he'd just be like, I'd be like, oh, like we've talked about this before. And I'd be like, I want to play as Liu Kang. He's like, oh, that's funny because Liu Kang's my character now. And I'd be like, no, give him back, you bully. He's like, I'm gonna be Liu Kang. Like, fine, I'm gonna pick Ryu. He'd be like, I'm Ryu now, and I'll be like,
Sometimes I'm glad I only have a sister.
But yeah, no, speaking of KJ and those two games, playing Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter with my brother as kids are probably some of the most fun times I've ever had playing video games.
Something about fighting games with kids just
yeah,
works well.
Because it's like nowadays, I'm like, I'll get a couple of matches in, but back then it was literally like, we'll play this all night, over and over and over and over again. I just can't see myself doing that now. I'll play for a few hours, but I just won't. I won't be like. It's not like an all day thing anymore.
Yeah, it depends on like. I had one of those days, like Friday. I was off work. Yeah, it was Friday. I was off work, and I was like, I'll play a couple matches of Smash. 4 hours later, I was like, I need to stop. After this set, I'll do a good 2 out of 3. I'll give him a chance.
There you
and
go.
then it's like, oh, there's another hour. It's like, I gotta turn it off. But
That's
like I
awesome.
know what you mean. It's because I would just like I'm gonna beat this game today, and I'd do whatever it takes to beat that game today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like I do that sometimes more, but like man, I used to like as a kid. Like, it was a rarity if my friends came over. Like, my room had to be clean. Like, it had like this whole ordeal.
Oh yeah,
So
of
it's
course.
like I had to have my room clean, have like all my chores done, or whatever. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like I'm going to maximize that time.
Yeah.
Like, to the best of my ability.
Absolutely.
So it's like
They have to leave at some
So,
point in time tomorrow.
so
So tonight.
So it's like you have 30 seconds to pick your next character. We gotta get this next match rolling. Come on, man. We got time to go. After this, we gotta play Jedi Outcast 2. Come on, dude. We gotta do it. And it's
Don't
like,
you want to just have fun?
No.
Shut up! You're wasting
So
time.
you want to go outside? No. All right, we'll go outside for 30 minutes. Okay. Well, all right. You want to come back in? Or we'll play some Melee. All right.
That's
let's go.
amazing. That's really, really funny. Yeah, I was the same kind of way because it's like, oh, we only get one night, man. We gotta maximize our gaming time. What do you want to play? We gotta play this. We gotta play that. But yeah, dude. So I think we can move on for now. But
Yeah.
that was
We might revisit this at some
yeah.
point.
I mean, there's always lots of stories that you can revisit and cool things that
Absolutely.
happened. All right, moving on.
Anyway.
We are gonna pass it over to Connor,
Yeah.
who's got a bunch of good stuff for us because now it is time for the news.
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 Just cut that in there.
I'm tired of yelling about the news, man. I'm
News.
getting sick of it.
All right. So there wasn't much this week. I'll try and skim through these.
Sure.
I tried to. There's only like 6 or 7.
Okay.
But Link to the Past turned 24 years old.
Oh snap!
That game is really old now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
One more year and that game can get less taxes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it can rent a car and it's got lower car insurance.
Yeah. You'll like this. There's a Dark Souls board game that's on Kickstarter right now.
I said this last week.
Hey, there's anyway, moving on. So, you told me about this earlier in the week. So there's a game called Punch-Out.
Okay.
And so there's actually, I don't know if I told you about this or not.
Okay.
But someone just recently found some new tech in that game against
yeah, I read
against
about
Piston
this.
Honda.
Yeah. It's
Where
one other guy too. I forget who it is, but yeah.
I think it's Bullet Bull actually.
Okay.
Where cause there's like a punch you can do like right before he hits you, like it's almost like frame perfect or whatever. Where you can knock him out instantly, and there's like a little dude in like the second row on the left side where if he like ducks and you do it right as he ducks,
It's like an
it's
instant.
an instant
knockout.
kill.
That's
and
amazing.
someone just found this the other day, and it's like I love that.
That's almost.
It's like
That game is so old.
forgive me for talking about this again, but I was watching. I was at a tournament, and I was watching. There's a Melee stream,
Yeah.
and someone found some new tech with Link. For a game that's been out for 15 years.
That's
And it's
amazing.
like I love finding like old,
Yeah.
like new stuff about old games.
Dude, I was the same way when people found those secret Ed Boon menus for the arcade versions of Mortal Kombat.
Absolutely.
I was like, what the heck? That's so amazing. This is like 20 years later. We got some new stuff.
Yeah.
Super
It's
sweet.
crazy. And it's like, it's like that's why I like watching speedruns because like there's just new ways they find to break the game. Like
Yeah.
every week it feels like.
I'll never forget the first time I watched a Quake Done Quick, and they were using rocket jumps just by shooting the ground and launching themselves. I was like, that is so crazy. Who would have thought to do that?
There's you should watch Majora's Mask playthrough because they do some funky shenanigans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's this thing called bomb hovers where you get bomb shoes and you can just like zone yourself out of things and you can like warp it to like whole entire like it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
And this tech for Zelda games is ridiculous in general. Anyway, so Doom Beta is open. Brian actually just played a couple games before this.
Yes, I did.
So I'll let you tell the people about them since you actually had a hands-on experience.
Sure. I'd also like to hear your opinion as a
Bystander.
viewer. Yeah, I played 3 rounds of Team Deathmatch on the Doom Beta. And I'll just say this. While it can be frustrating at times, it is an experience unlike any other that I've played so far. It's so fast-paced, and it's so brutal and over the top, and I absolutely adore it.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. And I was already excited about Doom. It was already a day one buy for me.
Yeah,
And
me
I was
too.
like, I probably won't play the multiplayer. I'll check it out every once in a blue moon. I could see myself getting pretty heavily invested into the multiplayer on this game. Because when you do well, it's so satisfying. When you do bad, it's kind of like Dark Souls in that way.
Like, ugh.
Where it's like the highs are really high, but the lows are super low.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can play as demons
That's so cool.
is so sweet. Like, I didn't get a chance to play as a demon, but seeing like revenants running around rocketing other players, it was just so cool.
You just go through a teleport. It's like, oh, I'm dead. Revenant.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So what did you think when you saw it?
It looks super slick. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and like that itch still exists just deep down in my brain.
Yeah.
And that looks like it's gonna scratch it.
I'm really pumped about it, man. We should definitely play some online matches.
Absolutely, and I can see because I like to play games with people, but there's a lot of times I want to just come home and just
Chill.
zone out and not talk to anyone after working at a restaurant and be like, I just don't want to do anything right
Absolutely.
now. And Doom feels like one of those games where I can just run with the shotgun and just kill people for a couple hours and go to bed.
Super sweet. I can't wait for it to come out. When it comes out, we'll give you our like full impressions on the game.
Absolutely.
Because we'll be able to play the single player campaign, which I'm really excited about because those are always amazing.
Oh, dude. I wonder if there's like a co-op single player. That'd be cool.
There was in Doom 3.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
All right. So I thought this was interesting. So Grand Theft Auto 5's online mode by itself has generated $500 million through, I guess, microtransactions or just like, like,
I just imagine walking into Rockstar headquarters and there are just humans who replaced their skin with money.
Or you just walk in and you get like a Scrooge McDuck swimming pool full of them. You're like, hey, welcome to Rockstar.
They're all just in like little inner tubes, just floating around in money pools with their laptops on their.
They just
laps.
liquefy money. They're like, it's really dense, but somehow, whatever. Don't fall in it, you'll die. But hey, it's worth it.
Oh, dude, that game generates more revenue than any other game I think in history because it's just continuous. It still is like on top seller lists. And it came out in 2013.
They're still updating it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a new update that just came out. Speaking of which, there's a new update that just came out.
There's just always so much to do in that game.
Yeah.
And the online, the fact that it's like, are you done with everything in the single player mode? Well, here's an entire separate game with just as much stuff to do. Do it with your friends.
I get to like level 94 on the Xbox.
Insane.
And like I used to play that. I used to come home from school.
Just only do that?
And just only play Grand Theft Auto. And it's like,
That's amazing.
I played until like when the patch came out that was PS4 and Xbox only.
Yeah.
Like one only. That's when I stopped because
Gotcha.
it's like there's just nothing new. But it's like I had almost all the clothes. I had I was playing early when there was all those glitches.
Yeah.
And I was just in a room like, dude, I was grinding out for cash. And all of a sudden I was looking and I was like, oh, I gotta buy some ammo. And I looked down, I had $6 billion, and I was like, okay. So I just bought ammo. I was like, all right, whatever. So I was playing more and more, and I was like,
this isn't.
Hold on, wait. I was like, oh yeah. So I just bought. I immediately was like, I gotta spend all this. I gotta invest it. So like, if they take it, so I bought like the nicest apartment, like all the best cars, and I was like, I did it.
That's amazing.
It's like I cheated. I don't know how it happened. It just one day it just happened to me.
Regardless of the fact that the online mode in Grand Theft Auto 5 is amazing.
Absolutely.
Dude, its launch was wonky-tastic. It was so rough.
Oh yeah.
It was really bad at first.
Oh, dude, I remember that.
Obviously they fixed it. And
I can't believe that game's 3 years old.
I know, it's ludicrous.
And that's one of the things where like even like I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4 up until GTA 5 came out.
Yeah.
It's like every Grand Theft Auto, they have ridiculous life cycles.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
they're still modding GTA 4 on PC.
Yeah, they're modding GTA 5 now too. They finally figured it out.
The car gun is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I love Goofy, like the whale gun, where you're like, whoa, shooting whales at people. It's like, yeah.
All right, what's next?
Next up. So they announced the next heroes and villains for Battlefront DLC.
Oh, cool.
So it's Lando Calrissian, which everyone knows.
Sure.
And Dengar.
Dengar.
Tell me who Dengar is.
Wait, is Dengar like the awkward, balding-looking dude from Episode 1? Like the weird blue guy who floats around?
Oh, no. There is a bald guy, though. He's like a bald dude with a hood on. He's one of the assassins that's in the Death Star that you see vaguely for like IG-88.
So that's Dengar?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like... Okay, I
was complaining about Greedo being an obscure character, but that's even worse.
At least his name to people, like, if you say Greedo, it's like, oh, it's the dude at the bar with a hand.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, I know that.
He's in the movie for all of, like, 2 minutes.
I had to look up a picture of who Dengar was.
That's weird.
Like, what? They're running into a problem where there's more villains than, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Whatever. And then next up, Final Fantasy IX is now available on Steam.
That is so sweet.
Which I hear a lot of people is their favorite Final Fantasy, actually.
Yeah, because it goes back to the old school 4 people per party mode, and it's very straightforward. Final Fantasy VIII's junctioning system really deterred a whole lot of people because it was really complicated. Basically, the way it worked is, I don't know if you played it or not, but
I know you told me it's broken.
The magic that you get is what decides your stats. So you can like draw a whole bunch of fire from a fire draw point and then have a bunch of fire uses. But then you put, let's say you've got like 44 fire uses, like magic spell uses of fire. You put it into a stat and that boosts the stat. If you use those fire, your stats go down.
I don't like that.
It's stupid. And because of that, you can get really, really gnarly stuff really early on in the game. Within like the first 3 hours, you can you can make Squall one-shot like everyone. So, but Final Fantasy IX is a lot more old school, straightforward. The characters are super lovable. Vivi is amazing. He's pretty universally known, even if you haven't played Final Fantasy IX. But I'm really excited because Final Fantasy 7 and 8 were on Steam, so I was wondering if they were going to do that for 9.
Yeah, and then I think they just released, or there's an HD remake of X or 10, which now that I think about it, the jump between 9 and 10 is ridiculous.
Oh, it's huge.
Like, I remember I went over to my cousin's house and, or not my cousin's, a family friend's house, and I had a GameCube. Anyway, I had a GameCube, and he was playing Final Fantasy X where they were underwater, and I was like, "What game is this?" And
on GameCube?
No, it was on PS2 because I had a GameCube, and I had never seen anything like it. And then he's playing Metal Gear Solid 2, and I was like, "These games look real. It's crazy." It's just ridiculous.
I love that.
Next up, so I thought this is interesting. This is our last piece, by the way. There's a SpongeBob Splatoon crossover.
That's awesome.
Where those like team things in Splatoon. There's Team Patrick and Team SpongeBob.
That's amazing.
So it's like, okay.
I mean, why not? That's not a game where it would be that. That's a game where that kind of thing would fit.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
I think it's really cool. Props to Nintendo or dudes as Nickelodeon for reaching out.
Yeah, and props to Nintendo for being like, yeah, we'll put your licensed characters that aren't ours in our game.
That just that makes me happy for the future of Nintendo.
Sure.
Like I don't know, they're making a lot of good choices.
I'm actually really excited about what this new president is gonna start.
Me too.
Dishing out.
So that's all for news.
Cool.
So next up we got our final boss segment.
Yes.
That's weird. You always introduce the segments.
I know, that threw me off.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started, people.
Sure. So what we're going to be doing here for the next 5 episodes is we're going to be doing a 5-part series. It's a 5-part top 10 series. And what we're going to do is we are going to list our top 10 games from 5 different console generations.
Yeah.
And we're going to start earliest and move forward. So on today's episode, we are going to be discussing our top 10 NES games for this Series 1.
To be fair, it's NES era, so you could say, Mega Drive, but
I mean,
who
whatever.
cares? It's an NES game.
I was going to say, Sega didn't really get
whatever.
popular until
you played Alex the Kid? Oh. Anyway, you want to start us off there, buddy?
Sure, I'll go first. So number 10, I had The Adventures of Lolo.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever played it, but it is a puzzle game. It is a strict puzzle game where you play as Lolo. You go up all these floors of this giant tower. Each floor has a whole brand new puzzle with different enemies, and it gets really, really difficult as you go up. So
Gotcha.
it starts casual, really simple stuff, but by the time you're getting like towards the end of the game, it's gnarly. You really have to be thinking and on your toes and stuff. So love that game. Number 9, I put Track and Field.
Whoa.
This is a game that me, my brother, and my mom used to play all the time. All the games in it are super fun. The majority of them are like, how fast can you press these buttons? So you can run faster or jump higher or whatever. My mom is hilarious. She, when she would play it, she would put a Band-Aid on her thumb. And then put her thumb on the buttons and just like wipe it back and forth as fast as she could.
Yeah.
And it just prevented her from getting blisters and stuff. So that's how she would press the buttons faster. Super funny.
I know that's where a lot of people learned how to mash
Yeah.
from those 2 games.
Absolutely.
And
Field is dope.
I know the computer cheats too. Like it mashes unreasonably quick,
It's
or
pretty gnarly.
it mashes at like the perfect interval where
Yeah.
it's like, ugh.
But you can beat them if you're good enough. Number 8, I put the first Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, okay, good choice.
Super hard, but way awesome. The atmosphere, the boss fights in that game are so much fun.
Oh yeah.
The music is really cool. I love the fact that it was one of the first games to have like really sweet looking cutscenes.
Oh yeah, like the
Ninjas in a
cutscene.
field just jumping at each other, being all like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the little running.
Everyone-
So number 7, we talked about this a little bit last week. I put Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
yeah.
That RPG that's way more in-depth and complicated than it should be for a Robin Hood movie spin-off. Super cool. I still got to show that to you,
Yeah,
by the
dude.
way, because I think you would really like it. Number 6, I put RoboCop. First one.
RoboCow. Oh yeah. Wait, I think I'm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I
I've
know
showed that to
one.
you
Yeah.
on the NES. That game is also a lot of fun. It's just a side-scroller shooter, but you can also punch. The boss fights in that game are really fun too. I don't know, man. I played a lot of that when I was a kid. I don't even know where I got it. I think my mom picked it up from like a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Here's RoboCop. You like RoboCop? And I was like, sweet.
Dude.
No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
RoboCop. It's one of those things where it's like you shouldn't have watched that as a
No,
kid.
I
That
shouldn't
movie is
have.
horrifying.
Oh, but here's the thing. I didn't watch that as a kid.
Oh.
I just knew of the concept of RoboCop, and he was just a big, giant, cool-looking robot who was a cop, and my mom kind of kept it that way.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
she let me play the game because the game wasn't super violent, like the movie was.
I hadn't seen RoboCop until recent times. It's like it's ridiculous.
It's still to this day. It's like, oh my gosh,
It's like,
that's
how did
so
they
gnarly.
Get away with that.
Number 5, I put Batman.
Batman.
Yes, because it is very loosely based on the Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
One of the best side-scroller platforming beat-em-ups ever. The music also is so good, super good. Also, I don't think I've said this enough in the podcast so far, so Fire It Up and solid choice. Just wanted to get a couple of those in there.
Hold on. Oh yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We're back on track. So,
Anyway.
number 4, I put Super Mario 3.
Oh, at 4. Okay.
Yeah.
right.
Normally that would be a lot higher on most people's lists, but I mean, and that's nothing to scoff at. Number 4 is still pretty dope, but
Yeah.
Super Mario 3 is the best Super Mario of that console generation for sure. There was just so much to do. The level variation was insane. The boots, the Tanuki suits, the
Yeah.
turning into a statue, just
It's-
all this crazy stuff.
The game's super advanced for
Yeah.
for what it was.
There's just so much to do. Number 3, I put Double Dragon 2.
Okay.
For several reasons. 1, music is amazing. 2, the graphics were awesome. 3, the fighting was so much fun. And 4, also one of my favorite multiplayer games to play with friends.
Yeah.
Playing as Billy and Jimmy.
We played that,
and
didn't we?
Fighting people. What's up?
We played that, didn't we?
I don't know. I think we may have started it, but then we had to go do something, so we stopped.
Yeah.
So
something
maybe
like
one of
that.
these days you and I should just plow through that.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Number 2, I put DuckTales.
DuckTales.
For obvious reasons. If you haven't played DuckTales on the NES, find a way to do it. The game is so cool. Music is also some of the best on the NES. NES. And yeah, it's just pretty self-explanatory. Boss fights were amazing. And then I didn't have any honorable mentions. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw in Contra and Castlevania.
Okay.
Because both of those games were freaking amazing, but I never owned either of them.
Gotcha.
So I only played them when I would go to friends' houses. And so that's why I didn't have as much experience with them as a kid. And number 1, I put Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!
Okay, solid choice.
That is the definitive game for me on the Nintendo.
Gotcha.
I played that so much. Aside from Super Mario Brothers, Punch-Out!, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Was the first game I ever played on the Nintendo. So holds a very special place in my heart. Brendan Dorman, Portarius, the guy who did our theme song, that's his favorite NES game too. He still
Solid
plays that
choice.
to this day, so super good game.
Okay. I guess I'll go then.
That's my 10.
Yeah. I'm actually really. That's awesome because we had like 2 that crossed over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like diversity.
I have an entirely different list.
Cool.
If that, maybe just one. But I want to start this off by saying that I never had any. I'm only 21, so like I never had an NES growing up. But so all these games I've played in more recent times.
Sure. Don't worry, no judgment here.
Yeah. I just pick my favorites that I've played in recent times over Virtual Console or whatever. I actually do have an NES, so but anyway. time to not talk anymore, and then time to continue talking. All
Better
right.
start talking now.
So number 10, this is a game I actually did play as a kid. Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
That game's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
It's so addicting.
as a kid, it's like, oh, I'm shooting. Oh, I have a real. Oh yeah. It's like
That dog is a jerk, though.
I used to just mash the zapper up to the screen and just.
Blah, 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 blah.
I did it. And then number 9, Zelda, original Zelda.
Okay. Zelda.
This is pretty low on my list. I played this as part of the collector's edition pack for the GameCube, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
It's like a worse Link to the Past as like a 10-year-old kid, but I know it holds a dear part in most people's hearts. Wow. But yeah.
Really quick, a side note, Tabby actually just bought a gold cartridge version of the first Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I believe it only comes in gold cartridge, actually.
No, there's a gray cartridge.
Oh,
Yeah, they only did they did a limited amount of the gold cartridge.
sick.
Yeah, so it's beat up. but
Yeah.
it's still awesome.
Number 8, Dr. Mario.
Yeah,
Solid puzzle game.
there's Dr. Mario over at McKay's for like $6.
Ooh, I might get that. It's cheap. I want to start building my collection back up. And
Should.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I only have like 6 NES games.
I have very limited experience with Dr. Mario. I never had it, so I never played it. I played it a couple times over at my friend's house. My mom, she worked this one job, so when we would get off school, we had to go over to her friend's house to be babysat for like an hour and a half.
Gotcha.
And they had a Nintendo with Dr. Mario, so I played it a couple times there.
Yeah, it's so good. Like do.
Yeah.
That's so good. I was at Chill. I think is.
Yeah.
No. It's Fever. Is what the
Oh,
one
that's
is.
right. Yeah.
Chill is like the do get that like that's the one. Anyway, number 7, Contra.
Okay.
Solid choice. Not gonna talk much more about that. Just a good old shmup.
Did you call it Contra? Podcast over.
Number 5, and sorry, number 6, number 6, Bionic Commando. No, I did not call it Contra.
Oh, smash!
I have a card of this. This game's awesome.
You've
Like,
got a card of Bionic Commando?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that's rare or not. I got it at the score.
That's cool.
When it was still around my town. But yeah, it's super fun. Swinging,
Yeah.
I can never get past the first level, but it's so much fun just to swing around like Spider-Man. It's so much fun. Number 5, 1942.
Oh,
I love this game.
I never played it.
It's so much fun.
Is it?
It's like it's nothing special. Even by nowadays, now that we have Gradius and Ikaruga and all these crazy games, but it's like
Yeah.
it's just a solid, shoot 'em up.
That's amazing.
It's so much fun. And then 1943 also is a good one too. And then number 4, Mario Bros. 1.
Okay.
obvious
you can't go
reasons.
wrong with that. I mean, unbelievable game.
This is one of the games me and my mom actually used to play a little bit.
That's cool.
And my mom not being a very avid gamer, but she used to play this when her little brother was like a kid.
Oh.
So like she actually knows like what she was doing, and we used to play. It wasn't very often, but we used to play this a little bit.
That's
one of the
cool,
only
man.
times I actually get to play video games with parents. Number 3, original Metroid.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, never beat this game, but it's fun to just wander around and
Sure.
do whatever. Number 2 is kind of an odd choice, but I love this game. Mach Rider.
I never played it.
So much fun.
Is it motorcycles?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a Nintendo exclusive. I actually really want him in Smash. It's real hard. He'd be so good. I know everyone's forgotten about him, but he's super fun.
That's awesome.
He's a lot of people get it mixed up for Excite Bike because he's a dude on a motorcycle, but it's basically like give Mad Max a motorcycle, and there you go, like
That's
a super high tech motorcycle, and that's Mach Rider. And number 1, Mario Bros. 3.
Okay.
So
Perfect. I mean, no surprise.
not gonna talk much more about that.
Game's
Super game,
amazing.
basically. And dude, I can't believe Mario World came out the year after that.
Right?
It's like, what? What? Oh, okay, stop. Okay. Don't do that to me.
I love it. It's amazing because I mean, I completely agree because the jump in graphical capabilities was gnarly
Yeah.
from Super Mario 3 to Super Mario World.
And I can see why they're so similar, too, because they're probably developed around the same time.
Yeah.
If not right after each other or during each other's development cycle.
Awesome. Well, all right, cool. So that was our top 10 NES games of that era. So really sweet. So next week, we're going to be doing Series 2, and it'll be the 16-bit era. So Super Nintendo, Genesis, so on and so forth.
I think those are the only 2, actually, that really matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like, wasn't Neo Geo, I think, was 16.
Well, there's like arcade games from that era. We'll add that in there,
Anyway,
too.
but basically any game from that era, so.
Yeah, actually, let's add that in. Arcade games from the years those consoles are active.
Sure,
so,
that works.
Okay.
I didn't play any console games from, like, the Nintendo era, like the arcade games from that console era.
Gotcha.
But I did play a bunch of arcade games from the 16-bit era.
Yeah. Okay.
So look forward to that. Should be fun next week. Right now, we're going to go to our free DLC segment.
Yeah.
And I believe, Connor, you have some trivia for me.
I do. I cobbled this together really quickly and haphazard. I'm just kidding. I actually put a lot of thought into this.
Good. I'm excited.
I don't know.
I hope I don't fail.
You decide if I actually put work in or not. This is kind of... A lot of them are Nintendo themed, but there are some outliers there. So it's just kind of grab bag of whatever. So, we'll just start right off. Question number 1. What is the first game Princess Peach was playable in?
Super Mario 2.
Yep, you got it.
Okay. I was like, is this a trick question?
It's like, nope.
It's Super Princess Peach on the Nintendo DS.
Wow, not Mario Tennis or what? Okay. Number 2, name the 3 parts of the Triforce.
Oh, power, courage.
Yeah, there's one more.
And intelligence, or like,
what's a synonym for intelligence?
I don't know.
Think of an old man.
Wise or wisdom.
Wisdom. There you go. I'll give that to you.
Ah, perfect.
So that's 2.
Okay.
In F-Zero, who is Captain Falcon's rival character in that game?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I didn't play
You don't know?
F-Zero.
He's got a pink. He's got a pink like racer.
I know who you're talking about. Like I know the physical appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know the name, so I give up.
Sorry, Samurai Goro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I throw that in as a curveball. So, if you don't get this, I'll be upset.
Okay.
What is the name of the sword you start off with in Devil May Cry, the original?
Chris Redfield.
Correct.
Alistair, or whatever it's called.
Alabaster. It's actually technically Force Edge, but I'll give it to you because that's like basically the sword you start with.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played that game.
It's been
in
a while.
So.
That's fine. So number 5, what is Barry? Oh, I almost said his last name. What is Barry's last name in Resident Evil 1?
Burton.
Okay, I was like, what is Barry Burton's last name? We're like,
It's definitely his Barry Burton. What is this?
What is this? Dude, Barry's my favorite character. I love Barry. How do you unlock the secret level in Super Mario World?
Secret level?
It's just called the secret level. Or top secret.
Oh, top secret. Okay, you have to go to the ghost house in the Donut Plains, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when you start, you have to have a cape. You have to run slightly to the right and then run left as fast as you can. Fly straight up. There is a platform up at the top. And then there's a bunch of ghosties that can't get you because you're too high up. And then you go through the secret door and all
you
that
got it.
That's a silly question because I told a story about watching an old guy teach me how to do that.
But I wanted to see if you actually knew.
Well, of course I did. I watched it.
Number 7, the Genesis controller is compatible with what other console?
Oh, is it the 3DO?
Close. I'll give you one more guess.
Okay. My gosh, what is it called? It's the Panasonic thing, right?
No. It's Atari 2600.
Oh. Yeah.
For some reason, you can actually like the inputs register.
That's amazing.
That's all. I don't know why.
Why not?
Number 8. So that's 6. Okay. Number 8. What 2 characters were not going to be initially included in the American release of Melee?
We're not going to be included? Is it Ness and Falco?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I have no idea, man.
Marth and Roy.
Oh, that's right, because Fire Emblem
release.
was not even like known over here. Nobody even knew what that was over here.
And because of Melee, they became known.
Yeah.
Well. That's fine. We all can't be amazing. Just kidding. Name a car from any GTA.
Let's see. I really like the what's that one called? Banshee.
Banshee, absolutely. What were you was that the car you're trying to think of?
Yeah,
okay.
that was one I was trying to think of. It's it's actually, you can get one of those when you first start GTA 3 on the PlayStation 2 by just breaking into that car dealership and being like, I've got an amazing car now.
My name's Claude, and I'm going to steal this.
Right.
Or it's Cloud, if you want it to be Cloud.
or Aerith, depending upon where you live.
It's funny you say that. Is it Eris or Aerith?
It is Eris or Aerith, depending upon where you live.
I had a joke all prepared, and you just ruined it. I was gonna hope you said Eris, and I'd be like, or Aerith, depending where you live. But yeah, I'll give that one to you. So you get like 7 out of 10.
Oh, I win 70%.
You got it. You graduated the high school.
I won it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, exactly.
70% flawless.
Speaking of that, really quick, in the first Mortal Kombat movie, Liu Kang and Shang Tsung fight at the end, and they beat each other up bad. And Shang Tsung like seriously hurts Liu Kang a lot.
Yeah.
Like smashes his head into the ground and stuff. And then Liu Kang beats Shang Tsung, and Liu Kang goes, "Flawless victory." And it's like, no, it wasn't.
Like, well,
no, it wasn't, Liu Kang.
No.
You got taken to the cleaners a couple times.
Ugh.
So hush. Anyway, with that
with that amazing note,
that brings us to the end of episode 15.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so sad.
Our podcast now get its learner's permit.
Oh, that's true.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
We can start taking it out on the road and stuff.
Nah, just throw it out there. But here's the keys. Don't die.
Perfect. Bring Daddy back a pizza. Anyway, so let's get through. We'll get through the plugs here really quick.
All right.
So once again, if you have not listened to them yet, you are missing out. Please go listen to the MultiTap Podcast. All of their links are in the descriptions below.
Yeah.
Also, go listen to our good buddies Defense and Kester at of-geeks-gaming.
Oh, geeks.
of-geeks, and their links are in the descriptions below. And please go check out Brendan Dorman, Portarius Music. His stuff is down below as well. Got really good stuff going on there. He was on the podcast last week. Go check out Kmall. It's at KMA11. And then on Twitter, I believe it is _KMA11_.
Yes, sir.
As people keep stealing his stuff.
Don't do that.
Don't do it, you online bullies.
You, I don't know.
And then Connor's friend Keith the Human, which is twitter.com/PG_KTH.
Yep.
So give him some love. Give everybody some love. Give us some love. Connor, what do you got for us?
If you guys want to send us any emails, fan mails, smoke signals, recordings of smoke signals, smoke signals, and like whatever that that text art thing you see like for Game Facts, that'd be cool. I think it's whatever. Anyway, you can send it to dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com. What is that, Brian?
That was dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, it's dragonpowercast. If you guys want to follow us on Facebook, it's it's Dragon Power Podcast.
Correct.
So yeah.
Sweet. We will be back next Monday with all sorts of goodies.
Yeah, and the next
fun
segment
and merriment
of our legacy.
Yes.
Wait, no, I was trying to think of. Let's see, our legacy series. There we go.
I'm ready for it. So, thanks for listening. We'll see you next Monday. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Dragon Power Podcast.